Greetings, groovy geographers, and welcome to the end of week one of our late start course. Thank you for your patience as I mend my injured foot and get things caught up on this class. My name is Rachel Cunningham. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And this is a little check-in about how our class is going and then kind of the direction we're going to be going for the rest of the semester. So we're going to go ahead and walk through our Canvas page, walk through our syllabus, and then a little bit few reminders about some assignments that are coming up. Okay, so I'm in my office in building 12. I am on campus usually about 5 days a week. So if you ever want to stop on by, come on over. I do have office hours 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings in person, Wednesday afternoons in person, and then Tuesday evenings online. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our Canvas page. So this is the view that you should be seeing on our Canvas page, and everything is done through our Canvas. All of your assignments are turned in on Canvas, all your exams are on Canvas, all your lessons are on Canvas. Since this is, of course, an online asynchronous class, there are no in-person meetings required. So this right here is a textbook link to our primary textbook. This is a zero-cost class, and so we're mostly going to be using this one here. See if it opens it. Sometimes it gives me a weird, yeah, there we go. We'll mostly using Caitlin Finlayson's World Regional Geography book. This was last updated in fall of 2023. So it is up to date-ish. Something you're going to see very quickly with this class is the world's changing very rapidly. A lot of stuff is happening, which means that quite often by the time I've recorded and posted and written our lecture and done transcripts and everything, it's already information out of date. So a lot of what we're going to be doing is there is some historical information that's going to be in your textbook, but we'll also have a lot of articles that are going to be more current event stuff as things are obviously changing very rapidly. But this is our primary textbook, but go ahead and be prepared to be using some Canvas articles as well. Where is my other? It's so hard to read this screen. There we go. It's so hard to read when it's in share view. Okay, here we go. So that's there for you. If you prefer to have a printed copy of your textbook, our bookstore here on campus does have a few copies available for sale. I know some people don't like having an online text. So the way your Canvas is set up is your home page is set to modules. Please do access information through modules because the way that lessons are set up is it's kind of an all-included packet. And if you go straight to things like assignments and quizzes, sometimes you miss little packets of information. For example, within our module 1, if we go ahead and open up lesson 1, so every lesson is going to have three main attributes. Number 1, it's going to have your slides, right? So it's going to be a PDF of your actual lecture slides. It's going to have a video. I use a mix of YouTube, 3C Media, a couple different transcript notations, and so you'll see a variety of different formats. And then so I guess technically it's 4 things. So it's going to be your slides, your video with your transcript. YouTube has it embedded into YouTube if you're looking for the transcript there. There's going to be your reading, and then it's going to be a practice quiz. And so that's why I encourage folks to have the home module be where you sign into Canvas, because this is going to be where all of your modules are all together. Same thing again, if you go to lesson 2, it's going to have the lecture slides, the lecture video with the transcript here. It's going to have your reading. Notice that I've gone ahead and indicated we're going to be doing a different textbook for this particular one, and your quiz. Okay, so that's the 4 big components. The lectures are long because when I teach this class in person, it's usually an hour-and-a-half class. So if you want to have the audio playing while you're folding your laundry or doing your dishes or driving like an audiobook, don't watch the video while driving. If you want to listen to my voice, you can. Those are all great ways to get information if you don't have time to sit down and watch a video for an hour-and-a-half. Although I do, and definitely please do take a look at your slides because there's going to be a lot of images and maps. Because it's a geography class, we're going to have maps. Sometimes there's some extra fun stuff that aren't required, quote unquote, like you're not going to be responsible for it on exams, but is important to help your information and also just fun. So here's a, cute little quiz about, how old is this map? And what does your favorite map projection say about you? My favorite is good small sign. So kind of some information if you want to know more about that topic, or things that might be interesting, but might not exactly be exam material. Okay, so again, make sure you're accessing your Canvas through the home, which is take you to modules. You'll see on the to-do side here, it's going to be all of your to-do things. So the big one right now is our syllabus contract. This class is completely full with a wait list. And so the syllabus contract is to make sure that folks are all on the same page in terms of what's expected of you. If you don't take the syllabus contract by Monday, I will be dropping you from the class because there are folks waiting to get in. So please do make sure that you do that. But all of your like quizzes assignments are going to pop up here so that you know what's expected of you. For the quizzes, and we'll talk about this when we get to our syllabus, the quizzes are not worth any points. They're not actually due. They're not required. They're to help you study. The date you have here listed as your due date is I had to put something in Canvas to make it publish it. And I usually set them to your first exam, but you can take them as many times as you want. You can take them not at all. They're not timed. It's really what works best. They're to help you study because it's the same style that your exam will be in. Okay, and that's our Canvas page. I have a current events discussion board. Please be respectful of your colleagues. And then all of our assignments are all going to be just embedded directly in here. These don't open up in advance because accreditation requires us, things can't just be like a free-for-all on Canvas. It has to have actually a set schedule. So if something doesn't open, it's not you. It's it's because we have to have a very specific publishing schedule for things. Okay. You'll see our map gallery and blank map templates. These are for you to use for our map assignments. And I apply them all for you here. I do have paper copies in my office. If you don't want to deal with digital, you can come on by my office. I have plenty of paper copies too. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our syllabus, which you can access here or here, either one, tomato, tomato. I'll click this one because it's here. And also a link to your syllabus contract as well, making sure, mind you, I actually think I have it already populated in my share drive. Haha, I do. I'll make it look bigger. View, full screen. Awesome. Okay, so the best way to get a hold of me is email. This is me right here. Make sure you have Cunningham Rachel, my whole name, because there's lots of Cunninghams in the district, no relation. We're always saying, hey, I got your email. Can you come get it? Or I got your, package or whatnot. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I don't check emails Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Monday, I'm in lab until 5 p.m. So don't have I don't have internet access while I'm juggling chemicals. But you can expect responses throughout Tuesday through Friday here in my office hours, both digital and in person. Again, come on by building 12. I have Legos, I have tea, I have some nice comfy couches and some puzzles. But this really is going to be this. So if you're taking this course, this is the world course. And so this is very popular with students who are history majors, who are childhood development majors. I believe it's actually required for the teaching degree. A lot of our political science majors take it, and also for a GE as well. So this is going to be looking at almost the entire planet. We're not going to do Antarctica. We're not going to do Canada. We're not going to do the United States. Mexico, which is part of North America, will be combined in with Central America because I do want to talk about Mexico, but we're not going to do the North American continent because you can take a U.S. geography class for that instead. But we're going to be covering the majority of the planet in 8 weeks, so it's going to go by very fast. And again, there's I think it's important because there's a lot happening on our planet, and it's a lot of topics on our planet that can be seen as controversial. So I really want us to make sure that when we are learning information, we're doing it with as open in mind as possible. And if we see something that we don't agree with or what we might find problematic, we practice the art of calling folks in instead of calling them out. So instead of being like, oh my gosh, you're a terrible person, I can't believe you said that, be like, hey, actually, I disagree with that statement. And here's why that might be a problematic thing. Maybe you could try phrasing it this way or try looking at it this way. Because we're all gonna make mistakes, me included. And so it's important that we are treating all of our colleagues with as much respect as possible in a topic that can be sensitive for a lot of folks, because we're going to cover a lot of stuff. Here's a link to your textbook here. And again, our instruction is going to be entirely online, mostly through lecture slides and through lecture videos. Okay, so your student goals for this semester, kind of like how I get graded on how well you succeed on these things, are going to be looking at the cultural and physical characteristics. So those of you who've taken classes with me before, it's going to be a little bit of 100, a little bit of 110. Does not add to 150 mathematically, but that's okay. So we're doing a bit of cultural and a bit of physical. So those of you who've had either cultural or physical with me, you're going to see some similarities, right? Looking at a lot of the diversity of what we see on the planet and a lot of current event aspects. Again, a lot of these slides are already out of date because as I was reading my news feed this morning, I was like, oh, well, those slides are out of date. Be leaning into your own news and a lot of the articles we see on Canvas, because your textbook, again, was last updated in fall 2023. That is already old news. The joy of trying to record videos as the world changes in real time. The biggest thing I can say in terms of success for this class is to stay in communication. Life happens. I get it. As you saw, I literally Sunday night hurt myself before publishing our Canvas page. So life happens. It is much easier for you to say, hey, I'm going through stuff, FYI, and then we can work together to get you caught up versus waiting until the very last day of the semester in December and saying, hey, some stuff happened. Now what? And then it's too late to help you, right? So please do keep in touch. I really am here to support you. I want you to succeed, I promise. Email and then also Canvas messages are the best way to get a hold of me. And also I'm here. Come visit, come say hi. Okay, so how to get an A is everyone's favorite question. I have a wide variety of assessment because we all have different strengths. There are 3 exams in the class. They're non-cumulative. You drop your lowest. So if you have a bad day and just bomb that exam, it's okay. It's your mulligan, right? This also means I don't allow exam makeup. So if you are traveling for your friend's wedding, or you got in a car accident, or you just overslept, that is also your drop. So I don't allow makeups because we have that nice wiggle room that you just drop your lowest score. Because this is an online class, all of our exams are going to be done through the Proctorio proctoring software, and that is required. You must have your whole face visible and your audio enabled. I know it's not fun and it's unfortunate, but with the advent of things like ChatGPT and other AI generative language models, I've literally watched folks just copy paste the entire exam and plug in ChatGPT, and we can't have that in an online class in order to keep our accreditation, to make sure this class stays transferable for your UCs and CSUs and fulfills your degree requirement. So we are going to have some practice Proctorio. So if you have never used it before, we're going to talk about how to use it, but that is a required aspect, and that's the only way that we'll be having exams. So instead of a final exam, we're going to have a final project. Those of you who've taken classes before, those is a very common way of how I do finals. You're going to be writing about current event topic of your choice. You can either work either individually or in a group, maximum of 4. Some people love group work, some people hate it. So I have options for both. And so your draft and presentation, which will be done digitally, will be your final for this project or for this class. Again, quizzes are not worth any points, but they are great for practice. So I suggest you do them, but you are all adults. Do what's best for you. Our discussion, so instead of just being like, talk about discussion, right? We're going to have what are called selfie field trips. You don't have to take a selfie, but it's more fun if you do. So basically our discussion posts are going to be using topics that we talk about in our class. So talking about movement, talking about migration, talking about water, talking about art, and then kind of how you find it within your own life. Since it is an online class, it's hard to create a sense of community, right? We're all kind of just little boxes on a screen. And so one fun way to make the class more personable is to just, take a little selfie of yourself and then of whatever you're talking about, the map, the water, the art, whatever it is we're doing, and include that in your article. Makes it a little more personal. You don't have to if you don't want to. Some people hate selfies. I get it. But think about it if you want to kind of make it fun. Some writing assignments and then maps. And so these is going to be that map templates I showed you. We are covering majority of the planet. So we're going to have 9 regional maps throughout the semester. You only have to do 5. So you either can just do 5 or you can do all 9 and I only count your top 5. So again, if you do poorly on one, that's okay. We just don't grade it, right? But only 5 go towards your grade. You don't get extra credit for doing more. It's just that there are 9 assigned, you do 5. And there'll be a separate video later talking about the details of that. But it's an opportunity to have some fun, get artistic if you want to. The topics are again up to you. So if you are not a geography major yet, if you're not a geography major, pick something that works for your degree, for your program, make it fun for you, make it interesting. So here's grading, pretty straightforward. A, B, C, D, F, the end. Okay. Classroom norms and equity on our classroom. I think that there's this tendency of folks, because it's an online class, we kind of forget that there's a human on the other side of the keyboard. And it's really easy when our avatar is a blank circle, just kind of say mean things. Don't do that, right? Especially since we're going to be covering some sensitive topics, some painful historical events, some painful current events that may impact different folks differently. So again, it's important to think about empathy, about respect as we're covering things. And it's important to note that if you don't feel safe in this class, that you have options for that. So my boss is Dr. Bianca Rowden-Quince. She's the acting dean of social sciences and creative arts. If you feel like you are not safe in this classroom, if you feel that you've been discriminated against, please reach out to her, because that is not okay. You need to feel safe in your educational experience. Okay. And then if you have accommodations, please get those to me ASAP so I can program that into Canvas. There is not a prereq for this, although we recommend that you can have English 100 or 105, just because we teach the class in English, your textbooks in English, so on and so forth. Okay. Acknowledging our sources. So AI is a great tool to support you, not to replace you. So if you, it's a great way to brainstorm and run by ideas. What I don't want is I don't want you to plug your entire essay into AI and then turn that in. That's considered academic dishonesty. So because we are doing research in this class, we're going to think about ways that we can cite our sources, both the traditional, textbook and journals, but also oral histories, personal interviews. Yes, you can cite AI. There's actually a whole procedure for citing ChatGPT as well. So just as we become researchers and we're looking at how we learn from the world, how do we give proper credit for that? If you are just copy pasting things to the internet, that is a 0, and you'll be asked to redo the work or referred to the dean, either one. We have free counseling on campus. Please check it out. Don't do that. Don't do this, right? And then here's our schedule. Again, it's very fast because we are a late start course. And you'll see pretty straightforward. All the reading is linked on your Canvas page. And then you have the assignments as they're due, so on and so forth. I think that should be everything. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm looking forward to a whirlwind trip around the world. No passport required. And take care. Bye.